Today, I'm going to pull back the curtain on how a professional motorsport designer approaches building a drift livery from scratch using Forza Horizon 6. If you're new around here or haven't heard of us before, hi, my name is Connor. I design real-world race car liveries and helmets for a living. And in this video, I'm not just going to give you a step-by-step tutorial. I'm going to teach you the design principles I use to make cars look aggressive before they even turn a wheel. So for this paint scheme, I wanted to dip right back into my childhood and create a scheme in the style of something you would see on Need for Speed Pro Street. This was one of the first games that I completely fell in love with the art style, the cars, all making me want to become a designer. The way I see these Pro Street liveries comes down to two things. The first is a street style of design. What this means to me personally is that they don't conform to what a traditional livery might look like. This might be what you see in Formula Drift on some cars, race cars, F1 cars, and most of these liveries are designed to keep sponsors happy. The second thing is almost undescribable to me. It's this dirty, grungy look they seem to have, which whatever car you go in the early stages just seems to have that feeling and vibe around it. The liveries that really stand out to me in this aspect are the Ryan Cooper one that you first jump into the game with, and the Mazda RX-7. And it's these cars that I'll be basing this livery on today. All the decals I'll use will be from other people, and I will include their share codes in the description. Right, let's get to it. Now, your approach might slightly differ from mine depending on what inspires you. While I'm dipping into video game nostalgia today, you might find your inspiration in real-life drift cars, other video games, or even race cars. It can be anything you would like. The main thing is finding a solid concept before you even touch the editor. So, it might sound odd, but personally this is where the fun starts to happen for me. Once I've got my inspiration locked in, I like to try reverse engineer a design. What does that mean, you might ask? Well, certain cars have a certain aesthetic style to them. So, on the screen now you will see Ryan Cooper's Nissan 240SX. Why I'm pointing this out is because this will influence what design choices I decide to make, starting with the rims. I'm pretty happy with the colour of the car already, however I am a sucker for having two colours for the rims. So what I'm going to do now is change the front rim to red, and the rear rim to white. This is to match the headlight colours that we'll be choosing. I'm quickly going to jump into the paint booth and sort out the headlights. So, as you can see on the screen, I've skipped ahead slightly and added those headlights. I went with a white on the left and a red on the right, similar to what we had in the Ryan Cooper image. This might be obvious to some, but I've matched the colours of the rims to the headlights just for a bit of continuity throughout the design. As we swapped around to the side view, I'm going to pull up the Mazda RX-7 we have been referencing. This is where I will be drawing most of my inspiration from. Now, I'm not looking to copy this exactly, however, it's important to note where the logos are on the car and what sort of shapes they use. I'm going to focus on one very specific area of the car. You see that swirl on the door? This is what's going to be the base of our pattern on the car. The other area I'm going to focus on is where that battle machine skull is. Because that is such an integral part of this design, I'm going to lay that down first and then get going with the swirls. I might have not entirely been telling the truth when I said about doing swirls. This mainly came down to a big skill issue and me being rusty in this game. But hopefully you can kind of see where I got the inspiration from just to do these curves. I might not be completely happy with how it's turned out, but it's a start. Next I'm going to be adding more of the Battle Machine logos and trying to fit them around this, as I think we might have a good starting point. So, I thought I'd give you a bit of an insight on what I'm doing with this logo, as all you've seen is me moving it about for the past 10 seconds. But basically, I'm trying to work out where it should go, and why I'm doing that is simply because of where you'd be looking at the car from. From this quarter, I actually think it looks pretty good, but from the front view we just had, I'm not 100% sure yet, which is why I keep moving it about. So yeah, I'm going to keep experimenting with it. I might just keep it there once I've added everything else in, but we'll see. Just a little progress update on what I've done on the side so far. It's nothing outstanding, and quite honestly, I'm happy with it at the moment. I do want to add a few little things just next to the battle machine, but I think that's going to be something we do at the end. This is the part where I'm pretty happy with logo placement, and it's so much easier to do the rest of the design. Now we've got some sort of design on the side down. Like with my helmet design, really, once you've got the side view down, I personally find it a lot easier to get the rest of the sides down, just because the side is what you can see mainly. So with that, I'm going to move on to the top view now, as this is the second most, maybe the rear, but I'd argue this is more important to get sorted than the rear view. I think my main idea for the bonnet is going to be using this skull made by Crowny. What a legend. But I think this might be my main idea, which is to change it to the darker grey and chuck it on the bonnet somewhere. I've got no clue where yet, but I guess you will see in this next time lapse. So as you can probably see, I've made negative progress. Yeah, I just wasn't feeling having the logo on there. Like, it kind of works, but then I look at it from this angle and I'm just not a fan at all. So I'm thinking I might go with a plain bonnet and just see how that works. It's a quite honestly like that look. I might add a couple of little logos here and there, but as it stands, I'm pretty happy with this. I might go with a carbon bonnet, which honestly might work, but I'm not too sure, as again from this angle I'm pretty okay with how it looks, but I guess we'll see. I don't know if you caught me in that time lapse checking out the carbon bonnet, but wasn't a fan. And as you can see, I've gone for a pretty simple one, which honestly I might even get rid of the skull. I think I prefer a more simple look, or clean look would probably be the better word, because I like that up until the skull, and if we get rid of the skull, I'm quite a big fan of that. You can tell me otherwise in the comments, but I'm a big fan of how clean that looks, as that's pretty much my design process. I'll quickly get the rest sorted and show you the final product. When you step back and take a look at the final design, it actually turned out to be relatively simple in the end. Hopefully, by walking you through my design process, it gives some of you a new perspective on how to approach livery design. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's that don't be afraid to mess around and make mistakes. As you saw plenty of times in that video, I had some ideas which just didn't work, some which didn't quite work, but they sort of did, and some which I'm pretty happy with. Even though it's a pretty simple car, I'm pretty happy with how it looks currently. although I'll probably change it after this video. This was a semi-scripted video, semi-vibe space video, as I had no idea what I was doing with the livery before this video. However, if you've got any comments on how I could improve the livery, improve the video, or just anything you want to see from me, please drop them below. This is my first video, so thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.